It is Kendrick Lamar versus the music industry lately. He really does not care, could not care less at the moment. Obviously, I made that video talking about him versus Lil Wayne and my opinion and thoughts on that. Today, we're going to go through some of the Andrew Schulz stuff going on. Everything going on between Andrew Schulz versus Kendrick Lamar. Really an interesting situation, and you might be surprised and might disagree with a lot of my opinions. So let's get into it. So first, let's just kind of generally react, because I've just seen like people quoting it. I've not actually watched what Andrew Schulz said. It could be different, you know, based on context or the way that he's saying some certain things. It could be different because I've literally just seen it in text on like Instagram and stuff. So here it is up on the Reddit.
Rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women. So we gotta sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're the most biased group.
Listen, nobody is respect.
All right, yeah. So, to be fair, this is clipped up as well, because I'm not sure what they were talking about right before this, but basically, he's subtly bringing up Kendrick, because, you know, Kendrick had the whole line about how no white comedian should be disrespecting black women, and so he immediately cuts in with like, oh yeah, because rappers are the most respectful people when it comes to women. Obviously, it's like, okay, I like he's a comedian, he's going to be smart with it, he's got that flip, he's got a very good flip right there.
Respected women more. Through art.
Yes.
Than rappers. Okay? So I completely understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit up.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying? Be more like us, and bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. I beat my bitch with a stick. What? You can lick on the nuts or suck the dick. I beat my bitch with a stick. What?
Did you just think of that?
That's a real lyric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a real lyric from music that protects women. And for decades.
I don't think that's a real lyric.
And listen, right now the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny.
He is the guy on top.
He is
making sure that comedians, he put a law in. Yeah. He put a law in place.
All right, let's see the
legislation.
exact
Line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. Now, technically speaking, if we're going off of grammatic English,
okay,
he's saying I can talk about black women, and that is law.
Don't let no white comedian talk about no black women.
So he's basically saying all white comedians
are only allowed to
talk about black women
exclusively.
Okay. Semantics.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a law.
Finally, he understands
It's a law.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
That makes sense.
Because he appreciates white comedians that make fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah.
That is true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own.
He is working with the South Park creators on a comedy. I'm not sure to what extent he's working with them on it, but that is true that he is doing that.
Laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm sure Kendrick is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if he's going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fact.
Al, you're getting groomed right now. We need to ungroom you.
Yeah, you are getting
We need to ungroom you right now.
Let's see.
Okay? I mean that, listen, because he sent people, he says slide on. What he said, slide, where's the line? Okay, the N-words that coon, the N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa, that seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Why would he call to, if he's about protecting black people, why would the call to violence be towards the black dudes, not the white guy making the joke?
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
Well, no. You gotta understand.
Because I snitch. I cooperate. I tell.
Litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
Here's what you gotta understand about Ken. It's very important to him to protect black women. That's why he's never done a song with an abuser confirmed. He's never done a song with anybody that's suspected of abuse. He's never threatened to remove his music from Spotify because they removed R. Kelly's music, who for sure fucked and held captive underage black women. Hold on. This is all very important to Kendrick.
Wait, just let me understand what's going on here, because I think that you're using sarcasm as a comedic device.
It is a comedic device.
But you're so fucking smart right now that I don't know if you're serious or making jokes. Are you saying that Kendrick Lamar put it on wax that he is protecting black women from white comedians' jokes, but not the kidnapping, molestation, and
Oh yeah.
of R. Kelly?
Holy crap.
Actually, in reality, he would
Holy
take his
crap.
own music off Spotify to protect R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Someone who's kidnapped,
A sexual
molested,
predator, yeah.
and black women.
Oof, children.
Are you saying that he's done songs with other men who have potentially put hands on black
Not
women?
potentially, confirmed.
Wait a minute, convicted?
I don't know what you call Chris Brown, but yeah, whatever that
Whoa.
is. Not breezy.
I don't know what you call
Not breezy. I took a picture with Chris Brown.
Yo, this is getting mucky, bro. This is getting dirty.
Can I tell you something? Yes. We ain't protecting nobody. Y'all can protect your fucking selves.
Everybody gets these jokes over here.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if that's all of it because it seems like they were still in the middle of it. It seems like we got cut in the middle of it, but wow. Okay. So they're trying to call out Kendrick on a double standard there because, oh, geez. So the whole part about, are you using sarcasm as a form of comedy? Is that him kind of low-key responding where he was being sarcastic with the clip about, talking about black women? If you're confused about here, matter of fact, all right, I think I should show you the clip that they're initially talking about. I couldn't find the original clip because I'm too lazy to actually look for it in a proper way, but a No Jumper clip came up, so we're gonna react to a reaction. All right, bet.
Guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, clean shape up.
I like that. I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it.
Oh my goodness.
This black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard
because
because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
Holy crap.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective. Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
Yo.
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Boogie.
That means white.
Translation.
Kendrick fans,
We love them all.
That's royal English for.
Oh,
really bothered?
I never realized at the end he straight up says Kendrick fans get him. It makes a lot more sense why Kendrick came after him now. That's way less random. Let's see how the subreddit is reacting to this. All right. Here we go. Andrew Schulz thing is sad and embarrassing. Talking ish and threatening Kendrick is getting lame on its own, but it's also really shows off a sad and pathetic way to go about living life. Him and one of his co-hosts were basically talking about how these people can R-word and people who can easily R-word them. Like, this is how you think and see people? Seriously? Like, everyone you see, like every time you see someone, all you can think about is if they are taller than you or not, buffer than you or not. The whole self-worth and worldview revolves around theory crafting and imagining who can overpower whom. Grow up, bro. Talk to people like they are people, not some elaborate incel BS about who's the scariest bully in middle school. Ish reminds me of kids in middle school who wouldn't stop talking about how they are not to be messed with and how they could beat X, Y, and Z in a fight. It feels like such a miserable, pathetic existence. I mean, yeah, I feel like a lot of people really are obsessed with like who's bigger, as a tall guy, I'm like 6'6", so I'm very used to people just obsessing over the fact that I'm like a much larger individual and the fact that I could physically dominate some. That sounds crazy. Hold on. The fact that I could be physically intimidating to people, and they're a lot more dead set on that just because I've always come from the perspective of being, a 6'6", 250, 300-pound guy. And so it's never really been a thing where I've been like physically intimidated by someone. I wouldn't say that, but it's never really, I'm just not used to that as much as someone else might be. And I'm so used to people talking about it. So it's never really been a thing to me, but I've definitely made this observation before how silly it is that people do focus on this a lot. So I wouldn't say that it's like, I mean, maybe it is immaturity in a lot of people, but I don't think it's crazy weird that him and his co-host think like that. I think that's just how a lot of men think. Like a lot of men, like if you're standing in a line at the grocery store, a lot of men just as like a mental like game will think about like, who could I beat up? Who am I physically superior to in this line? I don't think that's all that weird. I think that's pretty normal as a masculine man. Not saying that it's good. It's probably not good. Andrew Schulz insulted Kendrick. Twitter post of Andrew Schulz underage ex alleging abuse. I don't understand why Schulz responded to Kendrick for a rap he doesn't even know for sure is about him. Leads to him jumping off a building like he did. Allegations of abuse have emerged. Andrew Schultz's ex-girlfriend, Sarah Phillips. She made these claims back in 2020. They started dating in 2011. She was 16. He was 28. Broke up in 2015. For years, I was manipulated, controlled, and abused by him. The verbal abuse was constant. I was isolated from my friends. If I were If I wore makeup that he thought was too much, he would wipe it off my face in public. He'd force me to change before leaving the house if he thought my outfit was getting too much attention. Once, after being sick for weeks without explanation, I found out he had been using my toothbrush to clean the bottom of of his shoes. Oh my goodness. To this day, I can't make sense of that kind of sickness. All right, yeah, that sounds like some crazy stories. Obviously, it's important to trust all allegations like that, but it is just allegations. So obviously, I'm not downplaying or victim blaming. But that's something that should definitely be looked into more in the future, for sure. Massive wave of Kendrick hate. Has anyone else seen this? Am I the only one? Because of the past few months, I've been getting tons of videos hating on Kendrick for his music being annoying or massively overrated, as well as targeting his fans as NPCs or Taylor Swift of rap. I understand that Kendrick fans are sometimes overglazing Kendrick, but this hate feels manufactured or unwarranted. Anyone else get this too? I mean, Kendrick is the biggest right now, and so I feel like it's just, he's almost adopted that like Drake level of like no actual hip hop fans listen to Drake kind of thing, or it's like no actual hip hop fans listen to Kendrick. But it's almost like in this weird way where it's like people pretend like they're hip hop elitists because they listen to Kendrick. It's like almost as if you're not a real hip hop fan unless you think Kendrick is the greatest. I mean, I even experienced some of this when talking about like Lil Wayne and everything in my last video. And I totally get, like, I was trying to keep it pretty balanced, like talking about how I wouldn't want to see Lil Wayne versus Kendrick because I both love them so much in their own ways. And I don't know if and I definitely think Kendrick is probably, I think that Kendrick is probably better at diss tracks than Wayne, even though they've both had their high points, though Kendrick may have had the highest high point as far as diss tracks go. I definitely think that currently, because Kendrick is on top, so many people are just want the opposite. They want to have the controversial view of like Kendrick's not even that good, and let alone even when Kendrick wasn't on top, he was always that rapper where it's like no one's actually playing Kendrick in the club. He's only got like a handful of songs that really work in the club, or like, you know, it's not exactly the best like background music kind of thing, you know? That's not my opinion, but I've definitely heard that so many times. So I think that hate's always kind of been around. It's just grown so much more because Kendrick has grown so much in this year. J. Cole on his close friendship with Kendrick Lamar in the early 2010s. For the first time, I have found someone that loved this ish as much as I love it. He took it as serious, had similar taste, and it felt like the cousin coming over to the house. It's so funny to see like Cole back in those days talk about Kendrick, because you can tell, yeah, he seriously was just so excited to be around Kendrick and hang out with Kendrick. And at that time, he was bigger than Kendrick. And that's when he like talked about the collab album that never ended up happening. And he's even said like that he was just excited about the idea of making a collab album with him. That's just, yeah, it's kind of sad how that relationship has gone. They still seem cool, but then again, I also see so many people like talking about the sneak jabs that that Cole has been getting on the Kendrick album. Oh, this is funny. Spotify nailed it this year. Based on your listening, you can tell you hate Drake. That's funny. Not Like Us is officially Spotify's most streamed rap song globally in 2020. I believe this. Easily believe this. Even seeing everyone's Wrapped recently. I've seen so many people have Not Like Us on their top 5 songs of the year on Spotify Wrapped. Oh, here we go. Here's a white boy theory. And I'm playing.
Kendrick just told us he's making a second album and you all missed it.
Not the second album.
The Grand National Kendrick is referring to in this lyric is actually the title of his new album. GNX is just short for the Grand National, which was a car released by Buick in 1987. Buick made so few of this model that they had to have set times and dates for the GNX to be upgraded each year. They had to post these dates in major newspapers, and the process was so involved they only ever did it once. From the dates of December 12th to December 14th in 1987, the same year of its release, you could upgrade your GNX for a fixed fee of $2,660. And this is how we know Kendrick Lamar is dropping a second album this
really?
year. If we look at the runtime of Kendrick's GNX, it comes in at 44 minutes and 20 seconds, which seems innocent enough, but we gotta remember, we're dealing with Kendrick Lamar. If we take this runtime and convert it into seconds, we get 2,660 seconds, which is the exact same amount of dollars it costs to upgrade the GNX. By making the GNX runtime equal to the cost of the GNX upgrade, Kendrick is telling us that he has earned enough with this project to get his own GNX upgraded, and that upgrade will be coming between the dates of December 12th and December 14th of this year, just like how the Grand National could only be upgraded in that time window in real life the same year of its release. Personally, I'm well aware of all fees it costs to upgrade 1987 vehicles, but for those who aren't,
This is why people hate Kendrick fan. I'm really impressed with how he came up with all that, but at the same time, in the beginning, he's like, oh, I can't believe you didn't notice this. It's like, nobody noticed that, bro. How would you notice that? But also, that's such a reach. I mean, shoot, I hope I eat my words. I hope that he's so right. I hope, but I don't think so. I would love to hear what y'all have to say down below about the Andrew Schulz situation or Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole's current relationship and how you think it's going. And yeah, I fucking love every single one of y'all, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video, okay? Deuces.
You know, Mort, I think you're beginning to grow.
Well, sir, I don't know how much value I have in this universe, but I do know that I made a few people happier than they would have been without me. And as long as I know that, I'm as rich as I ever need to be. So I'll catch you on the rebound, your magnitude. Until next week, Nanu, Nanu.